think big, because then you're going to get big. Then you're going to go and achieve big things. That is the most important thing. We don't achieve big things by accident. So shoot for the top, shoot for the sky, shoot for the stars.
You were born phenomenally, and I get it. I know what the problem is. Everything about, I told you before, you a royal priesthood, a chosen generation. Like, everything about you is great, but the problem is you have consciously chosen to be average. I get it. I get it, like innately, everything about you is great.
You have something special. There's something you want to do. Because you don't know how to do it doesn't mean that you can't learn. I like something that I heard. You don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to be great. Leap and grow your wings on the way down.
The other thing is that you got to work your butt off. If you think that you're going to go and accomplish something really special and be the best in anything in the world, and you think you can do it without working, you make a big mistake. Because no matter what I did, if it was in bodybuilding or in acting or if it is in the political arena, it always took a lot of work. And you got to put out, and you got to, make a lot of sacrifices. Notice, if you're not willing to work hard, forget about it. So there's another rule that is very important.
Everything about you is phenomenal, but you've consciously made a decision to be average. You are average in school. You are average at your workplace. Like, everything you do is average, and not because it's average, but because you made a decision. You made a choice to be average. Why? Because the people around you are average. Or maybe you grew up in an average environment, or went to an average school, or you work for an average company, and so you've decided to go against who you are.
See, the people that will live their dreams, the 2% that will do that, become a risk taker. They're risk takers. They don't mind failing. They don't mind making mistakes. They're willing to take life on, take life in the collar. This, God said, if you're not willing to risk, you cannot grow. And if you cannot grow, you cannot become your best. And if you cannot become your best, you can't be happy. And if you can't be happy, then what else is there?
Now, I understand now. You are attracted to greatness because greatness is all in you. But it's easier to watch greatness. It's easier to go see greatness than it is to put in the time, to put in the energy, to discipline yourself, to sacrifice. It's easier. And so that's why you average. And so you're frustrated because you're not living like you should live. No, you don't have what you should have. You're not being who you should be. And so that's why you don't want to wake up in the morning. That's why you pissed off with Monday, because Monday is the day that you're supposed to go mold and shape and create your greatness. That's why you like Friday. I get it. Because Friday you get to chill. You don't have to face yourself on Friday. You don't have to face yourself on Saturday or on Sunday. That's the day that everybody is partying. Everybody's drunk. Everybody gets to forget that they didn't become who they were supposed to come during the week. That's why I get it now. But I challenge you. You could be great if you just showed up. Get in the game. I challenge you to move past average.
I started setting personal challenges every month. At the beginning of each month, I do this whole thing where I holistically evaluate my life on the first of every month. And it's like these 10 different categories of my life, from emotional to relational to financial to, career, mission, objectives, all these things. I go down that on the first of the month, just kind of holistic viewpoint of my life. And then I set a personal challenge and a professional challenge. And I do that every month. Every Sunday, I revisit my progress. Every Sunday for 23 years. So it's not like I'm just, one day ended up in a happy life. It was like that a level of self-evaluation that most people avoid until their birthday or New Year's. I do it every Sunday and every first of the month, and I don't ever miss.
Take a bit of a look at yourself and think about what's not so good that you could improve, that you should improve by your own standards, and that you would improve, and set yourself a little goal. Maybe you're not studying at all at your university, or maybe you're at work and you've got this stack of paper there, and you haven't looked at that damn stack for like a month, and you know that you should be, and you're bothering yourself at night because you're avoiding that. It's like maybe think, well, I've avoided that stack of paper completely for 1 month. I'm quite a coward when it comes to whatever snakes might be hidden in that stack of paper. How about tomorrow I just put that stack of paper in front of me on my desk and I glance through it for 15 seconds. See if I can do that. It's like, well, you set yourself a goal of improvement. You know, it's a humble goal, because really, are you such a coward that the best that you can bloody well manage after a month of avoidance is 15 seconds of exposure to a stack of paper? You know, it could easily be. You've been avoiding it, so you're obviously afraid of it. And so the situation could be that dismal and dire. And you might think, well, geez, it's no balm to my ego. It's not fostering the strength of my ego to recognize in myself someone who could only withstand 15 seconds of exposure to that thing I'm afraid of. And so that's a form of humility too. It's like, there's things you could do to improve, and you know what they are. And there's small steps that you could take, that you might take, that would put you in that direction. And then the question is, are you big enough to take those small steps? You know, are you capable of grappling with the fact that you're fundamentally flawed to the point where you have to break things down into almost childlike steps in order to manage them? And the answer to that is, yeah, you are. And that's the lot of, I don't know if it's the lot of everyone. Most people have things they avoid, you know, and they're afraid of. So I would say to some degree, it's the lot of everyone. People vary in the degree to which they've conquered that. And you do meet people from time to time who are extraordinarily disciplined. But most of the time they've got disciplined in exactly this manner. It's through slow incremental improvement. And then you challenge yourself. It's like, well, could I do this? That would be better. Then you find out, and then you think, well, is there something slightly larger and more challenging that I could do that would be better? And you try it and you find out. And as you try it and you find out, generally you get better at it and you can take on larger and larger challenges.
I'm obsessed with perspective. Like, I genuinely believe you find what you're looking for. If you are looking for bad right now, it's a piece of cake. If you're looking for good right now, it's a piece of cake. I'm just asking you, what the fuck are you looking for? Like, please, it's just a very simple question. Like, and by the way, I hate, in a lot of ways, I hate the way I talk because it's super simple. And I'm sitting right now thinking about the kid who's listening to this, and she or he is in her room right now, earpods in, listening to this, and they're miserable because their dad's an alcoholic or their mom's this, or like real shit, you know, like tough stuff. And they're like, ugh, it's so, like, f you. It's not that simple. Yet it is. Like, you know, one thing I don't do well is talk about my problems, which manifests in many ways. It manifests in being taken for granted in my real life and in my collective life, my outward life. And I got problems. I got lots of problems. Real ones. I grew up with lots of this stuff. Like, lots and lots and lots of stuff. I just am not capable of going into it. Like, I don't get going. Like, I can't get there. And so one of the things that that I try to remind kids, I'm like, take me out of the equation. Like, don't even use me when I'm saying these things for you. If you know of one person that has ever gotten to a happy place that dealt with your circumstance, there is a blueprint. The end. There have been people, Night Train Lane, legendary football player, was thrown in a dumpster the second he was born. Went on to be one of the great football players of all time, dated every actress in the game, was Red Fox's bodyguard, iconic gentleman. Dumpster. Like there's all sorts of circumstances. You have to redefine ego, because for some reason a lot of alphas like to think ego's decent. Let me just explain this very clear to everybody, straight up, from one man's point of view. Ego is insecurity with makeup on. So like, we need to redefine ego, because when people hear ego, 40% of it like, yeah, but the ego, like they think there's a lot of good with that. Do not confuse confidence with ego. Ego is insecurity. It is not confidence. It's insecurity. There's a lot of you out there that are happy, that are successful, and one of the things that's happening is you're putting out stuff and you're being crippled a little bit by the comments, and you get angry. And we've created this term trolls. I don't look at it as trolls. I really don't. A lot of my friends back in the day were like, why do you feed trolls? I'm like, because I respect other people's points of view and I want to learn from conversation. Like, everybody now is just like trolls, and any negative thing you get, people dismiss as hate, haterade, trolls. I read that shit. I read it because I would never want to become a caricature of myself. I need to make, I need to calibrate it. It definitely doesn't bring me down. I want to understand it. It allows me to adjust, and I have to adjust. We all have to adjust. I just think there's a lot of things going on in the system, but I really want to get people's minds more quiet, because it is just one big game of, are you valuing other people's opinions or are you valuing your own process?
Yeah.
And just the validation from others is a no-win game. And I don't know what happened. I mean, I know what happened. Parenting and circumstance and environment. In hindsight, my ability to navigate high school without peer pressure, which is what I did, straight up. Like, it's been fun for my high school friends to be hitting me up on Facebook and stuff of that nature, you know? They're just like, yeah, you really did do that. Like, I just didn't give a